Hey ladies, let me get on up here, get a little comfortable. How are you guys doing today? Happy Sunday. I'm going to do a little bit of small talk before I start this video, and I am kind of using my cheat sheets today. But anyway, the video is titled Exposing Generational Curses. Just really quickly want to say I'm not speaking about, most people speak on this topic from the standpoint of breaking them. I'm not talking about breaking them today. I'm really just talking about exposing them. But anyway, before I get into the message, just want to kind of tell you guys I had an amazing week, and I'm going to be kind of chill with this and hopefully quick because I don't want this video to be super long. Had an amazing week. I think I mentioned to you guys I will be starting to do the Hues of Inspiration segment of the brand, and that's where I'll be featuring 1 to 2 women a quarter. I've gotten both of the ladies' information back, and so next week, probably early next week, I'll be putting out the bio of the first lady. What I basically plan on doing is just putting out the bio, putting out links so you guys can check out their stuff and see what it is they're doing. And then the following the back end of the week, shall I say, I'll be actually putting the actual blog interview up. Both ladies, phenomenal, totally from different spectrums. In terms of just their lives and what they've been through, but just really amazing stories. I was so happy that I got an opportunity to pick their brains and just really figure out what inspires their greatness. Really good interviews. The one lady, I mean, her story is like, I literally was in my bed. It wasn't like boohoo crying, but it just really hit my spirit because she's been through so much, and her ability to go through tragedy and to triumph is like out of this world. But I'm going to feature the first lady this coming week. And then I will post her blog interview. Very interesting young lady as well. My goal with this is to really highlight other women and to support and to make that person the spotlight. I will be posting on all platforms. So I usually don't put too much on my regular Facebook page, but I want to do that because this group is somewhat limited, and so I want to give them as much exposure as I possibly can. I will be doing it on my Facebook group, LinkedIn. I'm going to try to somehow get it on Twitter because I have a lot of followers, a decent amount of followers. I'm not going to say a lot, 600 or 700 followers on Twitter. I haven't figured out the Instagram thing yet, so I really can't do much there, but I want to give them as much exposure as I possibly can. And I am truly thankful for them allowing me to ask them questions. I don't think it was super um, personal or super sensitive information. So, what I wanted to say also, God is really drawing a lot of women to me. A young lady I met, I invited her to the group page, and she's doing a book. I think I mentioned this to you guys. I posted on the group page. I interviewed with her this past week just to help her out with her endeavors, her business endeavors. It was pretty quick, maybe 15-20 minutes at best. I actually had went to work and did a full day's work and came in and did the interview with her. I made a promise to do it, so I followed through and I did it, and it was a really interesting experience. And I'm going to keep up with her to see where she is, and who knows, maybe down the line I'll be able to feature some of her work and some of the things that she's doing. Another thing that happened that was really interesting, I'm on Twitter. Twitter is a little bit more interactive. It's definitely a different platform. I had a young lady. I think she's a minister. And Twitter, you just like go scroll down and you respond to a tweet, you retweet, so forth and so on. And I had responded to something that she had posted on Twitter. I don't even remember what it was. But anyway, maybe a day or so later, my phone is like just blowing up, and I'm like, what is going on? So I look, and she had retweeted a lot of my videos and a lot of stuff for me. That's the thing I like about Twitter, because you can get your reach can be a lot larger, because if, like, for example, she has like, I think 30 or 40,000 followers. So if she posts one of my videos, not that 30 or 40,000 people are on Twitter at one time, but let's say out of her audience, say, I don't know, maybe say 5,000 is on at one given time, that exposes, that puts your stuff out there. Not only my videos and stuff, but she had retweeted some things that I had tweeted. So it was really great. And then like a week later, she hit me up on Twitter in my private message and sent me a personal message about how God had led her to me. It's been an interesting week, like how God is drawing women to me. And just, I know for a fact, beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is what I'm supposed to do. And it's just interesting to watch God work within it. I'm not as emotional as I was the other day. I was like, whoa, I can see God all up and down this. But I'm excited and I'm thankful, and I pray that He will continue to lead more and more women to me so that I can then help people get free, and then also help us uplift, encourage, and inspire one another. So let me get into the message. That was a little bit of small talk. Generational curses, exposing them. The reason I wanted to talk about this topic, knock my mic over. The reason that I wanted to talk about this topic is because, first of all, I think a lot of us, we know that we are dealing with, or we may or may not know, but a lot of us know that we're dealing with stuff and we just can't figure out why we're dealing with it. And some of it, I will say, is because of things that we do, but a lot of it is because of things that our ancestors, a lot of it is connected to our family lineage. And we are, unfortunately, we are getting the aftermath, or we're getting the remnants of some things that were done back in, years and years and years before. So I don't know if you paid any attention to the what is it called? The thumbnail for this video, but I had a scripture, which is Exodus 34:7. It says, maintaining love to thousands and forgiving wickedness, rebellion, and sin, yet He does not leave the guilty unpunished. He punishes the children and their children for the sins of parents to the third and fourth generation. So let me just first say that I looked up the word curse. A curse is a solemn utterance intended to invoke a supernatural power to initiate harm or punishment on someone or something. Now, when I read that scripture and I look at curse, what that leads me to believe is that there are some things that your ancestors will have done that do not line up with the will of God. He will then allow a curse on that particular family member, and then not only on that family member, but on generations to come. The reason I want to talk about this and really talk about exposing it is because, unfortunately, I have to say, in the African American community, I can't speak for all cultures, I feel like a lot of stuff with regards to generational curses and issues in families are kept secret. It's taboo. Nobody wants to talk about it. People act like it does not exist. And if you are somewhat wise and just in general, you can see patterns and you can see things that are not just specific to you, but you can see it in a lot of your family members. You can see it or will have seen it in let's say your great grandmother, your grandmother, your mother, and now you. So that means that thing didn't just stop back then. It's going like a domino effect, just keep going down the line. I'm bringing it up because I feel as though it's so taboo, specifically in the African American culture. I'll give you an example, and I'm not going to go into great lengths or really into specifics because I know this is kind of sensitive stuff, and when you're dealing with family, you have to just kind of be a little bit more, can't think of the word. I want to say you have to walk on eggshells, but you have to kind of be a little bit more careful with how you present things. So anyway, I'm going to give you some examples of generational curses. So like, maybe there's a generational curse of poverty over your family, or adultery, or it could be many of things. It could be, say, all the women in your family get divorced, or in my family, one of the most prominent ones, at least that I can see, is mental health issues. There are varying degrees of it, but it definitely is in my family. And I can remember my granny, God rest her soul. I didn't bring it up often. Every once in a blue moon, we would be talking about something that kind of was connected, and I would bring it up. And a lot of times her response was, to kind of brush it off. But also her response was kind of like, well, all families have problems. There's dysfunction in all families. And yeah, that's true. There is no perfect family. I totally, totally agree with that. However, I think in a lot of other cultures, things are a little bit more forthcoming, and people are more open, and not only open, but get the help, or at least do the things that are necessary to try to, deal with the issues. Unfortunately, I find that a lot of times we brush things under the rug, and I have my thought process is that anything that you don't acknowledge, you can't get free from. If you don't acknowledge, like say you're an alcoholic, if you don't acknowledge that you have a drinking problem, you're never going to get free from it. Or if you're, I don't know, if you're a drug addict, and if you don't believe you're a drug addict and you don't believe there is a problem, you will never, ever, ever get free. And the Bible says that who the Son sets free is free indeed. And as you guys know, the whole purpose of this brand, the main thing with this brand is breaking chains, which I always have my little props with me. And we have to learn how to challenge the status quo. We have to learn how to get outside the box. Or step outside the box, how to be different, how to not go along with the norm. So of course I'm going to talk about it. And like I said, I'm not talking about it from the perspective of putting anybody on blast or anything like that. It's really just saying, hey, look, you guys don't see this. This is happening. This is a pattern. At what point do we break it? Now, when I say at what point do we break it, let me be very clear, because I'm not saying for you to go to your family members and say, this is an issue, we need to deal with this. Because one of the things I realize is that you cannot make somebody want to change. You cannot make somebody want to tackle an issue. That has to be something that they want to do. And so I'm not by any means telling you to do that. But what I am telling you is that if you see the pattern and you believe that part of why you're dealing with something is because of your ancestors or because of your family history or your family lineage, then you need to get before God. And first of all, you need to figure out if there's anything that you're doing to add to it, and then figure out what the root of it is. Now, I could go really deep with this, but I'm not going to, because I believe that a lot of why we deal with some of this stuff is because of a lot of the things that our ancestors what they were into. I know in some cultures, a lot of, from generations back, they dealt with witchcraft and things of that nature. And a lot of that stuff goes against the doctrine and against the Bible. It goes against what God is about. And I can go more in depth into that, but I'm not going to. But a lot of stuff that they did and they dabbled in and were into, unfortunately, we're dealing with the aftermath of it. And so what I wanted to say is that what I would advise you to do is to seek God for yourself. Because at the end of the day, I don't have to answer for my family members. I have to answer for me. I have to give an account for what I did and how I ran my life and how I did things in my life. The other thing is I would not suggest that you tackle it with family members per se. I would advise you to get before God. If you look at Proverbs 3:5-6, it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. So what I would advise you to do is to seek God, to figure out what the root of this is, and then figure out how to get set free. Because one of the things that I will say is that I think that if you get free, it may encourage, it may inspire your family members to want to be free, right? A lot of times it's not that they don't see the curse on the family. It's not that they don't see the pattern, but nobody has the courage to confront it or to at least expose it as I'm doing. Like I said, I'm not sitting here telling you how to break it. That's going to be between you and God, because I don't know what's on your family. But if you can see it, I'm more than likely sure that they can see it. But oftentimes it's much easier to act like it doesn't exist than to say, okay, this is a problem. How do we address it so that it does not continue to move forward in generations to come? Okay, so the last thing I wanted to say is that I believe that everything that's in darkness ultimately will come to the light. And it says in Luke 8:17, for nothing is hidden that shall not be made manifest, nor anything secret that shall not be known that will come to the light. oftentimes, like I said, it's not that people don't see the issues. They don't see the things that are going on in your life or in your family's history. They see it. And what has been taught is to kind of like, let's see it, but not see it. Today, I want you to see it. I want you to confront it. Not with your family, let me be clear. Confront it with yourself. Get before God and let him show you how to get set free. And I believe once you get set free, like I said, you cannot make other people want to be set free. You cannot make them do anything. And I would not advise you to try to. I would advise you to get set free. And then hopefully in due time, they will see that you are free. You are no longer held in bondage because of something that your ancestors did or did not do. And as you are free, hopefully that encourages them, that inspires them to want to be free as well. I hope this message has blessed you. I hope it has encouraged you. Once again, I was not trying to get you to figure out how you break it. At some point, I may tackle that subject, but that's much deeper. This is very surface level. This is just really acknowledging that there are issues and that they stem back from generations and generations before you, and that unfortunately you are dealing with the remnants, the aftermath of it. This is no longer brushing it under the rug, no longer keeping it taboo, but saying, hey, this is an issue. This is an issue of my family, whatever that issue may be. I can see it from not only in my life, say my siblings' life, my great-grandmother, my grandmother, so forth and so on, just going down and down the line. And I want to be the one to break it in my life. And hopefully that starts a domino effect so that others can get set free, and so that this particular thing, this particular curse no longer goes forward in the family. That is the message for today. I hope that it has blessed you. I hope that it has given you some wisdom and some insight. Hope that you will have the courage to get before God and be real and raw and authentic and say, hey, God, I don't want any more of this. I have been dealing with X, Y, and Z as a result of what I believe is a generational curse. I want to be set free, and then get before him and allow him to show you how to get set free. Okay, so you guys know the drill. If you like this message, please give me a thumbs up. If you feel compelled, please hit the subscribe button. Please feel free to talk to your friends, tell your friends about the channel. If you feel that this channel is a blessing to you, let other people know. Share it with whoever you think may need to be set free, and anybody you think that could benefit from challenging the status quo. I love you. I love you. I love you with the love of Jesus Christ. Like I said, next week, I will be posting the very first blog interview. I'm going to introduce the first young lady probably Tuesday or Wednesday of this upcoming week. And I am super excited. I am so thankful. Like I said, I see God working in this. Wow, the way he's connecting me with these women, and the way he's not so much connecting me, but connecting other women to me as well. Well, like I'm connecting to them, and then I get a lot of women coming back and connecting to me, praying blessings over my life. I can't say anything, but it has to be God. I don't know what else to say. It has to be God. I know that I don't believe that he would have given me this this platform if he didn't think I was capable. But it's just awesome when you can really, really see his hand at work, and you can really see, and beyond a shadow of a doubt, this could not be anybody else but God. It's amazing. It's absolutely, absolutely amazing. When I tell you my God is awesome, I mean, I can't express that enough. Well, anyway, you guys, I hope you have an amazing, amazing week. Until we meet again, you know what to do. Katalambanawit.